On this episode of This Week in the NPSL, while some teams took a holiday, many of our squads were in action on Memorial Day weekend, and we have the highlights to prove it. In the South, the two best teams in the Heartland square off in Wichita, while two rivals battle in Chattanooga. In the Northeast, Hartford City looks to continue their hot start, while New York Athletic Club is hoping to kick off their season in style. And in the Midwest, after 2 wins and a draw to start the season, Duluth FC was looking for their first home win against their in-state rivals. Plus, we have our player of the week, who just happens to hail from the aforementioned rival in Minneapolis City. It's all coming up next on This Week in the NPSL. We are back in studio this week and back with another jam-packed show highlighting some of the best from around the NPSL. I'm your host, Paul Boron, and we start in the Heartland Conference, where Tulsa Athletic and FC Wichita have both started the season 3-0, and both are in double digits in goals scored. They squared off Saturday night in the Sunflower State. These two teams scoreless until the 49th minute. Joe Garcia tips it to Aaron Ogba to give Tulsa Athletic a 1-0 lead. 55th minute, Thomas Wells with a sensational bicycle kick to level the match at 1-1. Wells had just checked in and makes an immediate impact. 59th minute, Frank Tayu finds a deflected ball and puts it past Justin Bauer to give FC Wichita a 2-1 lead. 74th minute, Wells finds a through ball from Luis Vidalpla, chips it over Bauer's head for a 3-1 advantage. FC Wichita moves to first place in the Heartland and are one of only 13 teams left in the NPSL who have reached the max points possible. Chattanooga FC hosting Asheville City Soccer Club, the first leg of the Blue Ridge Derby, and a controversial play. CFC's goalie gets a red card for this play in the 42nd minute, and CFC will have to play the rest of the match a man down. But they get the first goal, Charlie Clark scoring in the 72nd minute on the assist by Zika, and it's 1-0. But Asheville City answers in the 77th minute, Jamie Smith getting the goal. Late in the match, CFC goalie Tom Halsell makes a pretty kick save and a beauty on the breakaway by Asheville to preserve the 1-1 draw. Thursday in Music City, Nashville FC hosting the New Orleans Jesters, and the home side getting a big save early in the match by Stephen Lunny to keep it scoreless. Stays scoreless till the 52nd minute when Ish Kasamu making his New Orleans debut, and he puts the Jesters on the board off the long assist from Jamal Wiseman. 3 minutes later, red-hot Tom Pierce puts away the Jesters' second on the counter. And then it is Kasamu with a steal and the composure to put it lower far post. 3-0 New Orleans wins in the Music City. So New Orleans and Chattanooga get together in Chattanooga on Saturday night, and the usual loud, boisterous crowd is there at Finley Stadium. Chattanooga strikes quickly off the turnover. Felipe Oliveira gets the goal, and it's 1-0 CFC. 80th minute, and the home side makes it 2-0 on this goal by Luke Winter, and it looks like Chattanooga is on their way to 3 points. But 5 minutes later, Oliver Roberts with a long-range shot that is mishandled, and the Jesters have life. Then in stoppage time, another shot mishandled, and Tom Pierce is there for his 5th of the year. New Orleans grabs a road point with a 2-2 draw. So Miami FC's 2 win is their first of the year and has them tied for 3rd. Meanwhile, Miami United FC already has 6 matches under their belt, but maybe just as important is a 4th-round match against Orlando City in the U.S. Open Cup on Wednesday. Georgia travels to the Big Easy Saturday night. Laredo Heat SC beat Houston Regals SCA for the 2nd time in this young season and sit atop the Lone Star. And as we mentioned, FC Wichita is now 4-0 to start the season. When we come back, we go to the Northeast, where another team looks to stay unbeaten. Hartford City FC hosting Kingston Stockade FC, looking to start 3-0 when we come back.
Keep up to date on the NPSL with scores, stats, schedules, and exclusive content on the brand new NPSL.com. Visit NPSL.com to browse our dedicated ticket platform. Read up on team news from around the country and view the latest episode of This Week in the NPSL.
Welcome back, and time to go to the Northeast, where we will check in on the home debut of a Keystone Conference squad in a moment. But we start in the North Atlantic, where Hartford City has only allowed 1 goal in their first 2 matches. That would be tested Saturday in Central Connecticut against the Kingston Stockade. 7th minute, Mark Grant scores for Hartford City from Luke Alvaro. Later in the first half, Hami Kara with a nice diving save, and then another one and a defensive blocked shot. 38th minute, Matuz Koziol scores for Kingston to level the match at 1 apiece. Skip ahead second half, 64th minute, Connor Archambault for HCFC draws a penalty and they convert. Andre Morrison putting it away to make it 2-1. 75th minute, Sebastian Staszewski scores to make it 3-1 Hartford City. And then later a penalty kick by Juan Parada makes it 3-2, but that's as close as Kingston Stockade gets as Hartford City goes to 3-0 on the season. New York Athletic Club in their home debut against Boston City FC, and Boston City had plenty of chances. Here a neat flick from Isaac Adai pushed a through ball from Avner Alves, and the cross, it goes into the post off of the shot by Homero Moraes as Boston City threatening after 23 minutes. 10 minutes later, Charlie Crane delivered a cross. Colin Balkwell comes out to get it, but he's beaten by the towering Caleb James, whose header nestled into the gaping goal. New York Athletic Club with the lead. Boston City had several chances to equalize during the second half. The best coming after 66 minutes, substitute Rafi D'Souza sent in a perfect cross from the right wing, which was met by fellow sub Wallo Randolph, whose header rattled the upright. The rebound fell to Alves, but he skied the shot over the target, and it's still 1-0. Then in injury time, Adai creates his own chance from a Randolph pass, but could only fire his shot straight at the keeper, Andrew Tartura, who stood up to preserve the 1-0 victory. Greater Lowell NPSL scored 5 in their first home match of the season, back home against Seacoast United. First 2 minutes, Jordan Masiri scoring off an assist from Jamar Campion-Hines, and it's 1-0 Greater Lowell. 39th minute, Cleon Price sails home a second goal for Greater Lowell. Credit to Campion-Hines for his second assist. Greater Lowell wins as they get their second home win of the season. To the Keystone, NFC Monmouth making their home debut, and this is the lone goal of the match. Captain John Atunes from Monmouth University in the 4th minute, and that ends up being the game winner for FC Monmouth as they make it stand up for a 1-0 victory. So Greater Lowell off to a good start, but it is New York Cosmos B lighting up the North Atlantic with 17 goals en route to a 4-0 start. FC Frederick's win and draw has them sitting second currently in the Mid-Atlantic, and Westchester United is now 3-0. They have scored 14 goals and have 3 clean sheets to start the season after their 4-0 win over Electric City this weekend. And speaking of Electric City, they are involved in our Game of the Week next week in a battle of one of my favorite team names in our league against one of the best logos in Atlantic City FC. We will see if the name or the logo wins out next week. And up next, we will see if Cleveland SC can start their inaugural campaign with a second win. And unbeaten teams square off in Duluth. That's next.
Passage is the official ticket provider of the NPSL and powers the league's dedicated ticketing platform. Support live local soccer by visiting tickets.npsl.com to find tickets to NPSL matches near you directly from NPSL teams.
Welcome back to the show, and away we go to the Great North, where Duluth FC has played 3 road matches to start the year and started with a win and 2 draws. Saturday night, they returned home against their rivals from Minneapolis City SC. The Duluth FC supporters are ready to go with the brand new Sunrise Battle flag and blue and green smoke. 22nd minute, Minneapolis City, though, would take the life out of the stadium when Will Kidd gets the goal. But Duluth FC would answer in the 37th minute. Garga Nuya putting it away, his first goal for Duluth FC this season. They end up with a 1-1 draw.
It was a pretty even game against a very good team that, I think we all expect, both of us to be in the top 3 or 4 of the league, competing for playoff spots. But from the very beginning of the season, we've made a lot of progress.
Cleveland SC looking to start the season with 2 straight wins, and it was a beautiful night for soccer in Cleveland. Scoring started early when Ben Truex found Admir Soljovic in the center of the pitch in the 6th minute. 20 minutes later, it was Chris Savetko scoring off the pass from Declan McGivern in the 37th minute, and that put Cleveland up 3-0. In the 70th minute, the eventual man of the match, Mike Derezik, scores off a rebound from a Binghamton defender. Final goal of the match came off of a foul on the Binghamton kicker when he brought down Truex inside the box. Derezik steps up and knocks it home, and Cleveland rolls 10-0. So FC Columbus gets 2 goals from Damani Kamara as they get their first win and are in the middle of the Great Lakes, while AFC Ann Arbor is now 3-0-1 after their draw with Kalamazoo FC. As we mentioned, Cleveland SC now 2-0 to start the season. They lead the East, and Duluth and Minneapolis had the draw, but they're looking up at VSL TFC after they won twice last week. When we come back to This Week in the NPSL, we will check in on the West and go back to the Midwest for our Player of the Week. Stay tuned.
Keep up to date on the NPSL with scores, stats, schedules, and exclusive content on the brand new NPSL.com. Visit NPSL.com to browse our dedicated ticket platform, read up on team news from around the country, and view the latest episode of This Week in the NPSL.
With much of the West off, not much changes in the standings. As you saw, draws were the story in the Northwest, but thanks to Edward Arrieta's 2 goals, it's Kitsap Puma's draw that keeps them on top. Orange County FC and FC Golden State were both off last week, so they stay atop the Southwest, and they battle in Irvine Friday night. And in the Golden Gate, El Farolito puts its undefeated mark on the line against Napa Valley 1839 this weekend, while CD Aguiluchos will tangle with East Bay FC Stompers. And now it's time for our Player of the Week, and for that we turn back to Minneapolis City SC. As you saw last week, Whitney Brown had 3 goals in their win over Dakota Fusion FC. Here he is after that performance and on a very clever Wikipedia reference.
Whitney Brown, does he have the right foot in a goal and the hat trick? It is the hat trick in the 56th minute. Whitney Brown, unstoppable.
I mean, we wanted to come out, tough because the last few games, we're a little slow out of the gates. So definitely we're more mentally focused today to start the game well.
Whitney Brown in alone, and it's by, and it's in, and it's a goal, and it's 2-0.
Right, I mean, sometimes it can be difficult because you get complacent, but that was the main lecture during halftime, was to not get our gas off the pedal and just keep, scoring goals, because teams can always come back on you. So we just wanted to come out hard and try to get the win. that's really funny.
We're number 10, Whitney Brown.
Definitely to keep gelling as a team. I think we have a great attack going right now. So keep getting familiar with the guys, and hopefully, we just keep this rolling.
Congrats to Whitney, and as we say goodbye, we also say good luck to Miami United FC as they look to make history next Wednesday night against Orlando City SC of the MLS in the 4th round of the U.S. Open Cup. We will tell you how they did when we go back out of the studio next week on This Week in the NPSL.